Hi everyone, Dan Olivas, your 2017 GEPAR president. You know, for a long time we've been thinking about how we can better communicate with you. And one of the ideas was through videos. So here's our first one. We're rolling this out. We'd like feedback from you and see what you think about this method along with the other ones of how we communicate with you so that we don't take up too much of your time, but we get the message across. Today I want to start out by talking about a couple of things. One is about our committee chairs. Our committee chairs have all been put in place, and we got a young bunch of committee chairs that are really excited about what is happening, and we at the association are going to add that support to them so they understand that their success is important to each one of us. The other thing I want to talk about is the process that is used for the association to make a decision as to what public issues we might get involved in. And currently we have gotten involved in the downtown arena. But let me go back to how this process starts. It starts with an election of individuals to board of directors. And all of you have the right to participate in that, either as a candidate or to make sure that you vote. So be sure and take that seriously, vote, and have the best representative that you possibly can think of representing you and making decisions on your behalf. Then what we have is we have committees, and the main committee that I'm talking about here today is Governmental Affairs. Governmental Affairs will look at different issues and it'll be discussed, it'll be vetted, and they may come to a conclusion that they want to move something forward. Then you have the Executive Committee. The Executive Committee could also be the one that initiates an initiative and says, you know, this, we want to move forward. They also would be vetting it, talking about it, and making a decision. Then it would be moved to the board. The board is comprised of about 18 members. These are the ones that have all been elected by you, and that's where the final decision is made as to whether we will move forward after complete vetting of it. Let's talk about the arena issue for just a little bit, where your association decided that it would take a stance on that, and the stance is that we are in favor of the arena going in the original place that the city council had voted unanimously to put it in. It just makes sense, and I'll explain it here in a little bit. But let's go back a little bit as to how we arrived at that decision. People are impacted. The humanity part of it, the human part of it, can never be taken out of it when we come to a decision about whether we're going to take a stance or not. So in this case, we're talking predominantly about tenants. There's about 60 tenants in that area, in the footprint where the actual arena is going to go. So let's talk about those tenants. I have had the opportunity to go down there and talk to about 15 or 20 of these tenants. Obviously, I haven't talked to all of them. I haven't had one that was in disagreement with move me out of here. If I can improve my living conditions and have help from the city while doing that, I'm ready to do that. And let me just say that when you go down there and look at some of the conditions that these folks are living in, they deserve to have the opportunity to elevate their living conditions. And if the city is willing to do that, it's a great win-win situation. But let's talk about some of the issues down there. A lot of them need ADA modifications for their properties. They don't have it. When they move, the city will provide that for them in the new location. The city will pay for that. The city also says if your rent is going to go up from what you're paying now, we'll pay the difference for the next 42 months. These folks deserve that. Now let's talk about the actual homeowners. It's my understanding that there's 2 homeowners have said that they're not interested in participating in this. But let's bear in mind that no offers have been made to any of these people yet. The negotiations has not even begun to happen. And the way it happens is appraisals will be done, then the negotiation takes place. But the majority of the people down there have indicated that they are in favor of doing this. Just pay me my price and I'll move out. So that's where we're at on that. When you look at an overview of that area where the footprint is, the majority of the properties are either vacant or they're vacant lots. So we're not talking about a lot of people being impacted, but certainly we are cognizant about the impact on anybody. The next thing that needs to be looked at is the impact to our industry, to our community at large. And if all of you have heard me talk before about the impact of taxes on this community, you'll know and remember that I have said that 70% of the tax burden in this community is shouldered by homeowners. That is the reverse of what happens in any other community. 70% is by industrial and commercial, not in El Paso. That's why our taxes are so high. This is an opportunity to start flipping that around and move some of that tax burden on homeowners to actual commercial entities downtown. Then there's the tax incentives that the state offers. Those are in-depth and they are significant. Now, I'm not going to get into detail on those now, but I'm just going to tell you that if that arena goes through, it's going to be beneficial to the community at large. If the tenants are taken care of the way that the city is talking about, that is a win for those tenants. If the negotiations on the properties go in accordance to what I'm seeing everything start to play out, it's going to be a benefit to those people also. So let's not lose sight of the fact that the overall benefit to the city is a positive one. That's why this association has taken that position. Thank you, and I look forward to doing this next month.